Abubakar Kawu Baraje has traced the origin of the current insecurity in the country to the influx of Fulanis from neighboring countries such as Sierra Leone, Mali, Senegal, Niger, Chad. These people were brought into the country for election purposes. Do not forget that we've seen pictures and video evidences of children. I'm talking of real children registered. And of course, they voted. And they said this was done 2015. He said this in LEONE as part of activities to mark his 70th birthday anniversary. He also backed self-help initiatives of the Southwest governors, stating that responses of Sunday go to the herdsmen maintenance was necessary because the federal government failed in its principal responsibility to secure life and property. But I just said that the ruling party was only wasting its time. According to former PDP chairman, who also once served as the party national secretary, chairman of the breakaway faction of PDP that formed the nucleus of the current ruling party, they call them the NPDP, the Fulani men causing havoc in the country are not aboriginal to Nigeria. Well, I will disagree to this. The Fulanis that invaded the north of Nigeria, took over, and already call themselves Nigeria of today. They invited in the aliens. So we cannot absolve them. We cannot wipe off the crime from them. They are all birds of the same feather. We've heard several times governors, sitting governors, saying there's no crime in inviting in or allowing in and even granting citizenship to Fulanis. Say Fulanis are Fulanis. There is no difference. Fulanis everywhere. So are we going to say let Nigeria split, let the North deal with what they accepted? Or are we going to say now, are we going to say, all right, Fulanis, you're all allowed to come in. All Fulanis are Fulanis. How do we put an end to all of this problem? For political reasons, they said they allowed in Fulanis. And not just political, even business-wise. Some people are allowed in Fulanis because they get money from these Fulanis. There are some godfathers in the north of Nigeria who make money from these atrocities. They are the ones who negotiate even during kidnaps and all of these things. They are the ones, they do these things together. So it's like a connection all over. And you cannot accept and allow these organized tribal criminals, organized criminals from that particular tribe. You cannot accept this. Now, that is not to say we do not have criminals in other tribes in Nigeria, indigenous in Nigeria. But how do you deal with your own criminals and other criminals that cannot be identified? You see, that's why they've left Nigeria the way it is, so that they cannot talk about reliable database, information cannot be stored properly. If Nigeria is even going to come up with this, all right, let's come up with a reliable database and have people's data. How are you going to be sure that the one in the north is going to be reliable? How are you going to be sure that data will be reliable? It's just impossible, because the north will definitely play a game so as to make sure that they retain that lie of having the most populous region in that contraption called Nigeria. So, in other words, the truth can never, ever come to fore. It's not just possible. We will not get the truth at all. So, he said, we are not asking the right questions on how the same Fulani we have been living with suddenly turned out to become imminent. We also must ask how they had access to their guns, the ex-party chairman asked. But I just stated that the Fulani men wreaking havoc in the country are not the Nigerian Fulanis. The security agencies have not been hoping about the nature of the problem. And I beg to disagree. Once again, we cannot say it is not the Fulanis in Nigeria that are involved in this, that some foreign Fulanis here and there. No, it's not. It's not. If the rat in the house, according to Proverbs, wise sayings out there, if the rat out there did not go out to tell the other rats to come in, you will not have this form of invasion. We've seen governors encouraging this. So what are we talking about? We cannot keep being fooled by it is not the one in Nigeria that is committing the crime. It is the one in this. It is the alien. No, we cannot continue with this. Criminals are criminals, notwithstanding the tribe. But when you find people pampering the other, then you understand what it is. If Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, the president of Nigeria, can pamper all of these people, we don't even know the people that are in the bush anymore. The people they call bandits. For crying out loud, we don't know who these people are anymore. They just come in, they invade, they do a lot of terrible things. And now we are being told Fulanis from Senegal, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Mali, blah, 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 and stories here and there. How long are we going to continue to listen to this stupid, foolish, and backwards explanation to all of the challenges that is on in Nigeria? It cannot be so. It cannot continue that way. It is impossible. It's time for everybody to begin to see for themselves. You don't need somebody telling you that one Fula or Fulani man from one place got invited during elections. They were given some money. They were told, come and help your brothers here so that we can retain the seat. Come and help your brother. Come and help your brother. Come on, let us get these things correct. Fulanis are domiciled in Senegal, where they say they have 60% of them. They are domiciled in Mali, where they say they have 22% of them. And they said that they are somewhere in the north of Africa, where they dominate, they are about 11% of them. And they said there are also 4% of them in the Middle East, somehow doing something there. And they are in Nigeria, they say they are 3%. So now look at 3%. Causing trouble everywhere. 3% causing trouble everywhere. 3% creating trouble everywhere. What are we talking here? These are not people that are even indigenous in Nigeria. So whenever there is anything, they go to call in the Senegal, Mali, and the rest of the Fulanis to come in. Lawless people to come and invade. Now we are talking about problem that is on ground already. So they come to add to the trouble. They come to add to the problem. Since we have a clear understanding of these things and how it came about, the question I think a lot of people want to ask is this: how do we flush out these people? How do we flush them out from our society? How do we get rid of this cancer that is eating deep into the economy, eating deep? This is so immoral. This is so evil. This is so satanic. This is so devilish. How do we get rid of this once and for all? I've always said, if the issue on ground is about Fulani cows and herdsmen, northern cows and all of that, why don't we begin our own cow business in the south? Well, if it comes to the issue of food product, why don't you continue ours and have personal, if the federal government, this particular one is not ready, why don't we have personal security that will man forest and bush? I'm talking about manning the forest so that people can have access. Why is it that the gates to these villages, entrances to these villages are not manned so that anybody who is not an indigene will be checked? There is no crime to this. I know the police will not cooperate at all. So these are answers to this. These are answers, because if you look at it and you think the federal government will ever try to push out these foreign invaders, they will not.